The NHL playoffs have begun. Alexander Ovechkin broke the all-time goals record, and unfortunately, he didn't get anywhere near goal number 900 before the end of the season. That matters not, because today we are back with a playoff episode of the Hat Trick Hockey Talk podcast.
Connor McDavid's first career hat trick.
Sandwiched back betwixt the haggard cheeks, my name's James Mackey. Sean Haggard to my left. He hasn't unmuted himself yet. Ryan to my right. Nonetheless, we are back, and we are happy to be back up to this point. Sean can't figure out how to unmute himself. Sean, at the bottom of your screen, there's a little bar. There we go.
Wrong way.
No, you're on this side. You're on this. No, I'm not arguing.
Also, Ovechkin's at 897. He's got 3 more.
He's pretty close to 900.
Nah, he didn't break 900 before the regular season ended.
Yeah,
so
but
he's not buying him a car.
He's a hat trick away.
Gretzky's not buying him a car anymore. So it's no fun. Don't we remember Gretzky was supposed to buy him a car? Come on.
Is that what happened? Or I think the NHL is supposed to buy him a car.
It doesn't matter. Gretzky has enough money to buy him a car, so it doesn't matter. Gentlemen, how have we been? Ryan, the last time we did this, it was just me and you, but now we have a semi-ugly face joining the panel to make it a true hat trick. Sean, no offense. Love you just the same.
Sean wearing a great Red Wings hat.
Sean is in the Great Red Wings hat. Nobody has mentioned my wonderful Flying Eagle Capitals hat. Kind of hurts the feels just a little bit, but I'm willing to let it slide for the time being.
Mackey hasn't had an OG team since the Yodis left the desert.
That's so tough of you to say that to my face, bro. You know why? Because I definitely could have been wearing this one today, but I was like, no, they're not in the playoffs. I want to show my support for a team that's actually in the playoffs.
You got the heritage in the back, which wasn't there. You know?
Yeah, and the flag in the back kind of mirrors your brother's flag in the back. Like we've had this conversation before of the rivalry we have brewing between on our show here, and I'm statistically outnumbered in this situation, which I personally can't stand, but nonetheless, I still love the both of you. Show not sponsored by Bauer, even though Sean's flexing the Bauer logo on his jacket. That's all right. We'll let it slide, gentlemen. Nonetheless, the playoffs have begun.
Yes, they have.
How are we feeling about them? What are our opinions so far? And I'll go ahead and bring the bracket up for reference.
I feel like.
Continue, Ryan. Sorry.
I feel like that whenever I turn the TV on to see who's playing, I feel like it's the same teams. For some reason, I feel like that I haven't truthfully, I have not seen, I don't think, a single Lightning Panther game.
I haven't either.
I have not seen, I think, a single Jets Blues or even Golden Knights Wild. But Oilers Kings. But
I've seen almost every game working in a hockey shop.
That's right.
I have not. I'm watching every day. I will say, the one series I think is an eye opener and something that's really fun to watch is the Stars and Avs. Gabriel Landeskog scored his first NHL goal in 1,032 NHL games. Back from his very long stint, 3-year knee problem from getting, I think it was from Makar. I think Makar caught him on the back of the knee a while back and scored his first goal. I was watching it and they introduced him, and it was pretty cool.
You know, the last time he scored in a playoff game was the 2022 Stanley Cup Finals when they won their cup.
Yep.
Crazy.
Crazy. The last 2 years, what happened to the Avalanche in the playoffs? Where did they go?
First round exits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Another series that's actually really good. I know, Ryan, you said haven't caught anything of is that Golden Knights Wild series is really good.
Oh, really?
So I was originally Golden Knights were just going to not sweep, but kill Minnesota. Minnesota has been playing really well. I think it's 2-2 now, or it might be 3. Is it 2-2? Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, this is the look ahead at Game 5 right here.
Yeah, no, it's a good series. So I was watching it yesterday when I was at work, and it was fun. It was fun to watch. Minnesota's dominant.
Vegas, the favorites at a -215 on the money line with a +180 underdog for Minnesota, and the over/under currently set at 5.5. Be sure to use code ITR on DraftKings Sportsbook for a free $200 in bonus bets, up to a free $200 in bonus bets. Nonetheless,
was that our ad or was that ESPN?
That was my ad. I did that.
Oh.
I feel like 5.5 is an auspicious number. That might just be me like saying that out loud. I just feel like 5.5 is just such a hard line to hit when it comes to like a game 5, because it's not like scoring is going to be at a premium. We've seen the longer playoff series tend to go, the lower scoring these games kind of tend to get.
No, did you see the scores of today's games?
Yeah.
5-5 and 5-1. High scoring games.
But all game 4s.
Yeah.
Which is, again, kind of the thing is like it's still early in some of these series. We haven't seen a game 5 yet. That'll be the first game 5 we see. I mean, again, the longer teams kind of start to run into the playoffs and the more they kind of spend time playing the same teams, you kind of figure it out a little bit. The only difference in a series like the Capitals series is they had to pull Logan Thompson, I believe it was last game, and then the Stars pulled Jake Ottinger just yesterday when they were down 3-0 to the Avs. So it's going to be really interesting to see how teams manage their players, and especially in a series like that Colorado-Dallas series. Those teams have seen each other in the first round for the last 4 years. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Almost.
Really, the only series that seems off, because I've seen Minnesota played Vegas not too long ago as well. I think the only series right now that is kind of like, whoa, I don't recognize these two teams would be Maple Leafs and Senators. I will say,
I know.
I want to get opinions. Are we going to see another reverse sweep first-round exit from the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I'm telling you right now, if that actually happens, the Toronto Maple Leafs are legitimately cursed.
They need to come back to they don't need to come back. They need to come to Arizona. Toronto needs to lose their team.
Relocate the Leafs.
Bro. Matthew Nyes are Arizona guys.
Matthew Nyes is awesome, though.
Nyes, Austin Matthews.
You know, Mackie, he might be my favorite role player. I think he's the most detrimental. I think that the Leafs, if the Leafs, it is expected right now for the Leafs to blow this series. You know, it's literally expected. Everyone's expecting it. But
have you seen Marner though? Too, Marner's been in the series role.
Yeah, and the Leafs have been playing really good. That's the thing, is the Leafs actually have defense, they actually have goaltending, and they actually have the ability to penalty kill, which is not the Leafs that we have seen ever in the Matthews and the four core era. You know, they've always gotten dominated, especially against Boston every single time.
I mean,
talking about
we kind of talked. Go ahead, Sean.
I was talking about defensive core. I think the team with the best defensive core this postseason has to be the LA Kings. Mm-hmm. It has been absolutely locked down, except for that last game. They lost 7-5, but 2 of them were empty netters, or 7-4, wherever it was. But no, from what I've been watching, because that's been the series I've been looking the most into. I like that series. I think it's a fun series. It's been the last 2 or 3 years. That is a good series, and I think LA has a chance to potentially go pretty far if their defense still holds up. And who do they got in net this? Is it
Kemper?
I was gonna say they have Darcy Kemper, don't they? I'm pretty sure they got Kemper. Yeah, I'm 90% sure they have Darcy.
Snooze fest.
Game 4 is currently 3-1 LA, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was watching a little bit of that game earlier. LA seems dominant. That first game was great. Did you guys watch game 1?
No,
I do not like that series.
Yeah, no, it's the same first round series we've seen how many years in a row. It's getting frustrating and annoying.
I love that series. I think it's great. That is one of my favorite series.
That's one series I have happily stayed away from because I feel like I watch it every year. And we've seen the point where Edmonton gets put on the ropes against somebody they shouldn't be on the ropes against. The only difference this year for me is that McDavid's been injured for part of the year. So he's got to find – I mean, he missed almost the last, 2+ weeks of the season, came back, and then got hurt again. Like, he's got to find his stride again as a player in this lineup.
Who do you think wins this series?
Who do you have winning it?
What?
Who do you have winning it?
Winning it? I didn't do the bracket challenge, but I would have LA moving on from that series.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
I had a from the Vegas in that series. And then I have moving on, but St. Louis has been playing well too recently. These last 2 games.
I want to jump back to this, Ryan. We talked about when we were trying to set up for the last time we recorded while the regular season was still going on, how we wanted to talk about role players, right? That was what the goal was to talk about role players. I want to take a second to look at these combined lines right here. If you can see this, I'll zoom in a little bit, make it a little bit more prevalent. His regular season stat line, he missed 1 game, but he had 100-point season this year, and he was a plus 18 to end the regular season. This is Mitch Marner. In a lineup where he's overshadowed just a little bit by talent because of the fact that Austin Matthews is there, this is still a 100-point guy.
And I would take Marner over Matthews.
A lot of teams, the conversation has been a lot of teams are looking into what the possibility is that Mitch Marner leaves Toronto in the offseason, right? I've heard the Blackhawks might want him. I pray to God they don't end up with him because they're just going to ruin him, and I want him to be good. Like, this is a guy that is on the verge of leaving Toronto. They're going to have to make a decision on his contract, and whether or not they choose to go with him or whether or not they choose to, let him walk is really going to be, I think, a fun storyline once we hit the offseason. But the point is that they have to get there first, right? Right now we're staring at that ugly reverse sweep, right? It's Ottawa. That's the only difference for me this year is that they're playing Ottawa in the first round, and they're up 3-1 against Ottawa.
Yeah.
Going back to Toronto, you're up 3-1.
And they're playing really good.
They're playing great hockey this year.
Yeah.
They're playing amazing postseason hockey this year. They have an opportunity to make it out of the first round. They don't have to see Boston after this series is over. They're playing a team we've seen them beat time and time again. Ottawa's on the up and up. Don't get me wrong. Tim Stützle is amazing to watch. Brady Tkachuk's amazing to watch. Their goaltending core with Linus Ullmark, I love watching, but there's only so much Linus Ullmark can do for this team when he doesn't get support on the front or the back end.
Totally. Yeah, I think that I honestly think if there's any way the Senators will come back, it'll be because of Linus Ullmark, and maybe the Leafs goaltending starts to crap on itself. I mean, they have Stolarz, who I'm actually kind of surprised Stolarz is playing as good. I mean, has he always been their starter? Like the last time I remembered a Leafs starting goalie was Freddie Anderson.
Yeah,
I can't name you. Jack
Campbell. Yeah,
Jack Campbell was a Leafs starter. Peter Mrazek was a Leafs starter. What the hell? I couldn't tell you. So I'm pretty sure.
Love the Peter Mrazek deal back to the Red Wings at the deadline just for the fun of it.
I want to say, I know Washington's up 3-1. The Canadiens goalie, young guy, he is good. Can't remember his name. Montembeault? Yeah.
Logan Thompson's better, though.
When he's healthy.
Montembeault's been playing well, though.
This is also a really fun series for me.
Real quick, Lane Hudson is disgusting at hockey.
Yeah.
I know.
Watching him play, especially against the Wings when they played him not too long ago, regular season, it is embarrassing what he can do to teams on that defensive side. The way he skates, the way he moves the puck, the way he moves with the puck, and the way he moves without the puck and where to be is just absolutely phenomenal. Everyone, I coach now, but everyone's like, oh, watch hockey, watch pro hockey. If you're a defenseman who wants to get better, everyone's talking about watching McCarr. I think people need to watch Lane Hudson.
I feel that.
I think look at that. 82 games played, 60 points as a defenseman.
66 points as a defenseman.
This is his first year in the NHL, correct?
He played a little bit. He played at the end of it last year. He played the last 7 games last year.
So yes.
Yeah. But so we'll count this pretty much as his first NHL season.
It is. Yeah, it's officially his rookie year.
Gross. The way this guy moves. There's a really, I don't know. I don't think they have it. They didn't score it, but there's a clip against, I think it's Detroit. And the way he moved the puck, I don't know if I want to see if I can see it on here somewhere.
I don't see it.
Yeah. No, but it's just the way he skates, the way he moves, the way he passes. I think the biggest thing is that this is a guy who, one, is a great defenseman to have. Two, he scores. He's a point He gets points.
Yeah.
82 games played, 66 points is not bad for a defenseman. That is very good for a defenseman. Like I said,
Yeah.
he is one of those guys who's only 21, and the way he moves now concerns me for the way he's going to move 2 years, 3 years down the road when he starts to get more comfortable in the league.
When you sort their roster by points in the postseason, Lane Hudson leads with 5 assists. When you sort their roster by points in the regular season, Lane Hudson's third, and it's all assist-based for him.
And it's Nick Suzuki, and Cole Caulfield in front of him. Granted, I like Caulfield as well. I think he's just the way he skates. Real quick, you guys talk. I want to see if I can find that clip real quick.
Yeah, no, you're good. I think another guy nobody really talks about on Montreal, in my eyes at least, is I think Uri Slafkovsky deserves just a little bit more respect in this conversation. We got to remember the draft that Uri Slafkovsky went first overall was the year that Shane Wright was the quote-unquote cemented number 1 overall pick. He was the guy that everybody that had the number 1 overall pick, he was going to be a Montreal Canadian. Shane Wright was a generational talent. He was going to fix Montreal. And they took Uri Slafkovsky over him. And Uri Slafkovsky has not made them regret that decision. I mean, just on the regular season alone, let's take a second to look at it here. 18 goals, 33 assists, totaling 51 points is absolutely disgusting for what, a third year winger. Like, this is a guy that again, when that pick was made, there were shockwaves sent throughout the entire NHL because it was like Shane Wright, number 1, 100%. Uri is going to be number 2, and it didn't happen.
Wait, real quick. What number does Lane Hudson wear? 48?
I think so. I'll tell you in a second.
I think it's 48.
This is the beauty of multitasking. Yes, 48.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think enough people talk about the fact that Montreal has a bright future, right? Like, obviously this year they're not a playoff. They're a playoff team. They're not a cup contender in my eyes this year. They haven't been a cup contender in my eyes this year for a long time.
Thing they made it to the playoffs, 4 years ago, or the finals 4 years ago.
It's just like the Devils to me. The Devils are not a cup team this year. They're a playoff team in the future for sure. They're a playoff team this year. The Devils are not a cup team this year.
I'll tell you, that Atlantic division is going to be the hardest division in the entire league. At some point, because if you really look at it, I mean, Montreal and Ottawa are taking in those 2 spots. You know, like Detroit's technically kind of falling behind, but they also have I think that mark my words, I think that Tampa Bay is going to slowly collapse and someone else is going to take that spot. But I mean, they have Florida, they have Toronto, they have, who's this?
This is an ad that Sean is currently showing us. Oh,
yeah, I got an NHL ad.
You were saying about the Atlantic Division, Ryan?
That the Atlantic Division is going to be the hardest division by far. And honestly, as a Red Wings fan, I worry because, like, I don't really know where the Red Wings fit. Like, is there actually enough space for some of these teams who are also growing, like the Sabres and the Red Wings, if they could actually make the playoffs? And when you have guys like Ottawa and Montreal who are took a massive leap ahead, any of the upcoming Atlantic Division teams this year, I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see. I'll tell you what.
So I want to move into something that we really love doing here.
Hopefully it adjusts. Oh, come on. There it is. I want to watch. So it's this word is shift by him. The way he moves, like, not like, and then it gets the puck back. I hope it continues to show because he does more crazy stuff this. But yeah, here. Like, his ability to move, like, it is insane what he can do.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, the way he skates is, as people said, Kale McCarr's a normal skater. It's a Kale McCarr-esque type skating.
Do you think that he wins Norris because of his points or because he's actually a good defenseman?
Because he's a good defenseman. I think he's genuinely a good defenseman. He's not. I mean, I haven't really seen him actually.
Bouchard was not a Norris Trophy winner, but even though he technically would by league standards, you know.
I think that I haven't seen him really on his I've seen him on the offensive side, but not the defensive side. I don't know, but from the offensive defensive standpoint, he's good. Like the way he moves the puck, the way he opens the space on the ice, and with his speed, he is incredibly quick.
I know he's awesome.
So,
Matthew, what were you? You were talking about some.
Yeah. This is our favorite game to play. Actually, I'll roll this first, and then we'll get into it. We're gonna play a series of the first round because I really want to play it, and I really want to have this conversation. Understanding that we are already at the point which, by the way, Ryan, I love that graphic. Can we just take a second? We do this every week. I do this every time we play this. The old Buffalo logo, the old Dallas logo, Atlanta's in there, the old LA logo. I mean,
I know Anaheim.
The old Anaheim logo. There's no Coyotes. You left them out of there, unfortunately. I'm willing to let
Coyotes were never on NBC.
I know. It's okay. I'm willing to let it slide. That graphic doesn't get enough love. We never ever. I don't give that graphic enough love because this had to have taken so long to do that. I'm rolling it a third time. This had to have taken so long to do.
That's probably took me an hour.
I know you had to piece together all of these logos and do it, and it was probably such a pain in the butt. That logo has outlasted our show.
I know. Really.
Segment is from the beginning of time of the HTHT podcast. That's how long.
Sean is right though. It did take about an hour.
Or did you guys do it?
That was 2020, 2021, I think. The season after the bubble. When we started the show, we started
in the playoffs.
After we started the show, we started that. Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to play a series of the first round because we're at the point now where this is going to get really interesting to watch break down the rest of the way. So on my end, we're going to go from top to bottom, which means Ryan Haggard is first. Ryan, I want you to tell me which series you're watching the most from here on out, who your winner is.
Pick a series.
One on each side, one West and one East series that you think is the most interesting up to this from now on.
All right. I'm gonna start with the West.
Yep.
My favorite over here. Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna take Stars Avalanche. Sorry, everybody. I know that's probably the most popular one over there. Stars Avalanche.
Boring the Devil series. Sorry.
So much. But no, oh man. Okay, I think honestly, to be honest, I think Colorado wins. I think they win in 7. I just think that honestly, if this was 1 plays 8, this right here is the Western Conference Finals matchup.
Yep.
And so since it isn't, it will be the Avalanche in 7.
And then your East Coast series.
Okay. My favorite series out of the whole thing is Leafs Senators.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. I will go. Okay, I'm gonna take Leafs Senators. And the Leafs win in 4-1. So the Leafs are gonna win in 5.
So at least win the next game. Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Sean.
Almost the overtime. Am I next?
Yep.
Okay. So I would agree with Ryan that Avs series usually is my favorite, but after watching it, I'm going to go with Golden Knights and Wild. That is a great series to watch too. I have the Wild winning that series in 7. I think that's going to be a great, long, hard fought series. I think the Wild have that one.
Yeah.
And then from the East side, so the Eastern Conference, I'm going to go Habs and Caps. I know it's a 3-1, but the thing with that is it's been a really interesting series in the sense that I originally, after watching the first game, I was like, oh my God, the Caps are going to roll them. And they granted still are, but Montreal won the last game. And I'm excited to see what that series entails. I think the Caps are going to win in 6. I think the Canadiens are going to win the next game, and then Habs are going to win the next game. Caps are going to win the one after that. So I said in 6, But I have a feeling they're going to be close games, as in like 1-goal games or overtime wins. That's going to be, I think, that's going to be my series to watch on the East, and then I said Golden Knights and Wild is going to be my set on the West.
So I think I really have only one choice of series to go with on the West, because I think we all know that after LA goes up 3-1 on the Oilers, it's probably not going to go very long after that. So I'm going to go Winnipeg, St. Louis.
That's a good one. I respect that. That is also.
I honestly, I don't think this is a series that me saying Winnipeg in 7 is far-fetched, because it seems to be that the home team is winning each game. Which in this case would mean that Winnipeg gets game 5 at home, St. Louis gets game 6, and then Winnipeg gets game 7. So I'm going to take Winnipeg in 7 in that one, strictly because, and this is kind of the thing I've been saying on TikTok Live too, is like this series ultimately boils down to what version of Connor Hellebuck shows up every time they take the ice.
True. Absolutely.
Right? If the Blues can rattle Connor Hellebuck, if their fan base can rattle Connor Hellebuck, this is Blues all day.
Which is not hard to do.
It's not hard to do at all.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing too. You're talking about goalies on Jets side, right? Blues have Binnington. Binnington this year, after the World Cup of Hockey, whatever it was called. I don't know.
International stupid thing. Yeah, he's kidding. It was cool. I loved it.
That was the side of Jordan. Oh my God, Jordan Binnington. We saw when they won. And from what it seems like, he might be coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that temper's never going to go away, but this is a battle, as Mac, as you said, whatever goalie hits the ice, ready to go. The version, are they going to get Pennington, who's going to let by 9 goals, or are they going to get locked in, excuse my millennium, whatever it is, terms, or Hellebuck, who is going to show up and either let in the soft goals or make the most ridiculous you'll finish.
I think Ryan solves world peace over there with everything he's got on his desk.
I'm so sorry.
I think the biggest thing is and Sean, we talked about it the night we were at the gym, and Pavel Buchnevich put up a hat trick. Like, there's so much depth in the offense. Yeah, but there's so much depth in the offense for the Blues for me. Like,
also, by the way, Kyle Connor does not look like he should be good at hockey, but he is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, I genuinely like seeing what this team is made of. And this series has been a really good tell of what both sides are made of, what Connor Hellebuck's made of, what Jordan Binnington's made of, what the depth of each of these teams is, because we know both of them have been very good down the stretch as of late, right? The last couple of years, Winnipeg's been on the verge of making the playoffs, and so has St. Louis. St. Louis hasn't really ever been in a true rebuild, in my opinion, but they've been very close to a true rebuild. And I feel like this is kind of the start of the tail end of that rebuild ending. Is this run versus Winnipeg. So I'm going to take Winnipeg in 7, and then I'm going to pivot to the East. And I have one I don't think you guys are expecting me to bring up. I'm going to take Carolina, New Jersey.
You're stupid.
You didn't leave me much of a choice. You left me Tampa Bay and Florida, and you left me that one. And ultimately, I kind of am on the boat that I like what New Jersey's doing. And per Puck Report NHL today, the Devils have only 1 goal in their entire series versus Carolina that didn't include a point from Timo Meier, Nico Hischier, or Jesper Bratt. So Jack Hughes out, Luke Hughes out, not playing. Both injured currently. I think Ryan knows better than anyone else. I've been I've been a Carolina truther in the playoffs for how many years, Ryan?
I know, but I will say that Matt Mackey's always been very hyped about Carolina, but Carolina has never
performed for me.
Conference finals.
Never. They never performed for me.
Yeah.
Ever. No matter how hard I try to will Carolina to be a good team in the playoffs, they always seem to let me down.
Certified conference final lock team, I'll tell you what.
This year is different. I have Carolina in 6. I'm going to give New Jersey one more win in this series.
It's supposed to happen today.
I'm high on Carolina. I'm
You
always
think,
been high on
so
Carolina.
you think that the Hurricanes are going to lose at home?
I'm giving the Devils one more win, whatever that means. If it means they beat Carolina, you're telling me a young, gritty team like the Devils is gonna lose 3-1? You don't think they're gonna lose 4-1? You don't
Yes,
think
I
they'll
think
lose
they
4-2?
will. I don't think they have their superstar. They have nobody right now.
I don't know. You didn't
Do
leave
they
me much of a choice. I won't choose Tampa Bay, and I'm not taking the Panthers.
Devils are losing in 5.
I'm not taking the
They've told-
Panthers to repeat.
Was
they
it?
have Tatar?
Oh yeah,
Don't they have Tomas Tatar?
yes they do.
I refuse to take the Panthers to repeat, and you got me fucked up if you
Well,
think I'm
no,
ever going to say Tampa Bay is going to win.
The fact that you have
Canes
New
in
Jersey
5.
in Carolina is nuts.
Kings in 6.
Carolina is scary to play at.
So
Except for the
we've been very high on this series. I mean, it has like basically the entire NHL media. I just want to look at one thing really quickly.
Well, what is it?
Can you just do me a favor? Take a look at your screen real fast for me, Ryan. Am I crazy, or does that say Mackenzie Blackwood has a .912 save percentage this season?
It does.
Yeah, what is considered good again? 0.918 or something? What is it? 930?
Since when is Mackenzie Blackwood in
Above
above?
0.9.
Do I have permission to step on the soapbox real fast, gentlemen?
It's because he has the defensive core.
Right. At what point did Mackenzie Blackwood become an elite goaltender in the NHL?
Because he has Kel McCarr in front of his ass.
That's what I'm saying. Why the Stars can't beat him, and everyone's like, "Oh, Colorado's going to beat Dallas." Mackenzie, their goaltending core. I'm just going to bring this up one more time. Their goaltending core is Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott fucking Wedgwood. Pardon my French.
I know.
What in the hell makes I've gotten in this conversation so many times with so many different people because it is the number one thing that pisses me off the most, and that is people sitting there telling me with clear minds that in any stretch of the imagination, Colorado could have won this series in 5 games. I have had so many conversations with people who are like, "Oh, Colorado's going to win in 5 games."
It would never have been 5.
Are you kidding me? Have you not watched
Off the bat?
I have covered the NHL for 4 fucking years. 4 years. In every year, the only thing I ever heard about Mackenzie Blackwood is he was garbage on the Devils. He was in a system that didn't support him, and he wasn't an elite goaltender. So all of a sudden, just because he has Cale Makar and Devon Taves, the Avalanche would win this series in 5 games.
That's ridiculous. That's BS.
Well, maybe.
They said, well, here's the Stars have I think is really good.
Everybody I have talked to has said that this was a Colorado sweep from the start. It was Colorado's going to steamroll them because Colorado's offense is so elite. But nobody looked at this goaltending matchup to realize that this is still Mackenzie Blackwood, who started his career with the New Jersey Devils and was terrible.
There's a reason why. Huh?
The Devils just suck. He wasn't that horrible.
That is
the Devils have nobody.
Rookie year, sophomore year, junior year, and then after that he fell off.
Look at that. So here's the thing: a .93 in the NHL is considered to be okay. If your goalie's anywhere below a below a .85, that's not a good save percentage. Anything above a .85 is considered to be good. Anything above a .9, I would say, is an elite goalie. Anyone above a .92 is just like a Andre or someone who's just a freak of nature. But the fact, no. Here's the thing.
Never been a Mackenzie Blackwood truther, and you fucked all the way up. You think I'm going to start now?
Everything's averaged out. Look at that. That's a .906 save percentage. I consider him to be elite goalie. He's not within a comfortable range with the average to be an elite goalie. I would say he's a solid goalie. I'll say that. We got to think too, Mac.
Fringe starter.
So I mean, look at it. Also, go back to that graphic one more time. Go back to that graphic. There we go. Look, here we go. San Jose, .899. But then so now in 24-25, so this is before you have to go back to Colorado, right?
He started the year with San Jose.
Okay. That is actually for playing in San Jose. That is a pretty solid save percentage, a .911. And the San Jose has no one. Sorry, Macklin Celebrini, you're good, but they have no one.
Will Smith.
Will Smith's also pretty good, yeah. But like you can see, Colorado, he always, it seems, .913. He performs well when he performs better. Now, do I agree that this would have been a sweep of the series? No. I do have Colorado, and I think Colorado will end up winning this series. I have hope for Dallas because I like Dallas more than I do Colorado. I don't think. Listen, the idea. All right, real quick. Do you want to make another bet we did last year when it comes down to the Stanley Cup Finals? Someone's got to buy someone.
No. Wait. We'll wait till round 2 to get there. We're gonna do a round 2 show once round 1 is all said and done.
So here's my take. Dallas. I don't think I want them to win this because I said Dallas more than I do. I don't think. What is that? Oh, I'm down. Dallas is. Here's how it's going to go. I think you're agree with me on this. The second, and I said I like Dallas, but the second Colorado faces quote unquote better, more like advanced team, Wedgwood's, or not Wedgwood. Mackenzie Black, my bad, or whatever it is. Whatever his name is. His finish. When shots start going on net the right way, and he doesn't, and Mikhail Makar and Devon Tays don't have the ability to stop it, and McKinnon can't score all the goals for them. McKinnon's been well in the series, done well.
But that's the thing is, who else in the Western Conference is better than Colorado?
Vegas.
Go to that. I'll tell you right now who's better than that.
Not Vegas. Who?
Winnipeg is better than Colorado. Yes, I know they probably wouldn't play each other, I think, until the conference finals. Yeah, no, they would play each other in the second round. Winnipeg is so much better than them, and I truly believe if the Wild, Vegas, the Wild's willpower is better than the Avalanche's superpower.
Nah, I think the Stars Avalanche is supposed to be the Western Conference Finals. I don't think there's any two teams better than those two.
Nope.
The only way that is the Western Conference Finals is if they do a 1 versus 8, but Gary Bettman refuses to change the playoff bracket.
Yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, like Kings or like Oilers getting stomped. Kings, they're just too slow.
That's debatable. That Kings line is disgusting.
I guess so.
Do we remember? And I know we're butting up on time here. Do we remember last postseason how energized the Edmonton fan base was?
Yes.
Oh God.
Are we and I'm a hockey truther. I love good hockey. Are we counting Edmonton out too early?
Yes. Oh, sorry. No, we aren't.
You think?
Oh yeah,
Edmonton.
No.
They're
going down the
really?
Yeah.
Yes. Edmonton
ain't got this.
Yeah. No. I'll be sorry. Listen,
Darnell Nurse, Evan Bouchard.
When you have a traffic cone and a giant liability on your defensive blue line, Evan Bouchard, you are not winning playoff series. Sorry, and I will say Darnell Nurse too. Those two players for Edmonton suck. Everyone at Evan Bouchard says, "Oh, he could shoot the puck hard, but he's a liability." Because he is. He can make a slap shot. He's a liability.
They have the best player in the world on their team. You know,
McDavid hasn't done anything this series.
That's why I think we're counting them out too early because they have McDavid and Draisaitl still.
You're right. It happened last year too. I was totally counting them out of that Panthers series.
They were down. They were in this same hole against the Panthers in a game 7.
And the Panthers are better than the Kings too.
Like, are we
Yes,
crazy?
The Panthers are way better than the Kings.
I feel like we're crazy now for really saying that this series ends in 5 games.
It does. Okay, it's either 5 or 6. It's not going to 7. I could see it maybe winning another game at home.
You kind of got it is Mackie, I'm not gonna lie.
Because it makes.
Because I forgot about last year and they played Florida, who is better than LA. And they came back while they were literally being dominated because the Panthers were on a mission to win the Stanley Cup. No one was stopping Florida last year. But this year, who knows? Maybe LA's the one who cracks. Because I mean, honestly, this series has been going on since I was like 10. Like how many times has LA won? How many times has the Oilers won? I'm not sure. Have the Kings ever beat the Oilers?
I don't even remember.
It's been like 7 years or something.
But I bring this to light because it proves to feel a little prevalent right now.
Oh jeez, this is so big.
Right fucking now. Right fucking now. Right fucking now. It's not fucking ideal, but it's happened so many fucking times. Good enough. That's fucking good enough. It's the fucking finals. Think the fuck in right fucking now. Whatever the fuck you have. That is not fucking good enough. Let's go get one fucking win at home. One win, and we'll see what fucking happens. Fuck in.
I mean,
Holy
are we forgetting that this is their captain?
I will say too that I feel like that is so like that's such an interesting thing because I feel like that is so like out of character.
Ryan, and something that really pisses me the fuck off, Ryan, I'll be so honest with you. Being a journalism major and loving to like see behind the scenes and getting unfiltered access to behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan, I think you know that, like, you know, as a film major, right? Why is the fucking equipment guy standing in the way? Whoever that was, I have said this to so many people and everybody looks at me sideways. In that moment when he's mic'd up, why are you closing the curtain? We can still hear what's going on behind the fucking curtain.
I'll actually tell you, truthfully, I think is that those players, Connor McDavid, the trainer, they do not give a flying shit about that camera who's in their face.
Yeah.
They probably want those people out of there. They don't want NHL's documentary crew all up in their ball sacks, you know? And when they are, you know, the trainers are going to shut the doors on them because they don't want them sneaking in. And so, but I don't know. It is very interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised if the trainer got in the way on purpose. You know, it's like you're recording like we've never seen Connor McDavid like that ever. You know,
no, it's uncharacteristic. Yeah, I think you're correct. It is uncharacteristic to ever see Connor McDavid like that.
Yes,
1,000%. All right, we have
128 gigabyte micro SDs, 2 of them, and it's absolutely so devastating.
We are starting to delve into madness here on the Hat Trick Hockey Talk Show. There was a couple other things I wanted to talk about. The boys we're butting up on a time rush that we had to crunch out of here, so I won't keep you any longer, boys. Let's prepare for a round 2 show. Let's prepare for a watch along at some point in the next 3 rounds of the playoffs. I would love to do that again. That was a lot of fun. And maybe we get another absolute gem of a clip like we did out of the last one when we brought Mavis on and, you know, our very own Stanley C. Panther joined the broadcast and it was direct into Sean's mic. Meow. If you want to see the clip we're talking about, go follow us on TikTok. I won't keep you boys any longer. Thank you so much for joining us for the playoff episode of the Hat Trick Hockey Talk podcast. For Sean Haggard on my left, Ryan Haggard on my right, from betwixt the Haggard cheeks. I appreciate you very much for joining us. We will see you in the round 2 show of the Hat Trick Hockey Talk playoff show. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Go Stars.
There you go. Go Stars.